Hello and welcome to SkilledSouls. As you may notice, everything is more HD than it already was. Instead of YouTube 720, it is now 1080 I've been able to upgrade to, including the intro at the start, which I hope you liked, and the gameplay itself is 1080p, and at the end of the video, the outro is also 1080p. Both the intro and outro, as you already may have noticed, are new. The outro you will see. The outro is longer, but I want to know what you feel about it, because that took me a while to make, hence why I haven't been on and recording anything for a month. As a bonus as well, for 2014, I am recording Hearthstone. Now, I am not someone that has just joined in the open beta. I was in the closed beta where it took forever to get a key. I finally did get a key and I tried to record, but I had more problems and I didn't actually have plans to improve the actual gameplay itself to 1080p then. However, as I have been able to improve the gameplay and everything, I'm going to hop straight into a match. And I have several decks. I'm going to go straight for my Hunter deck and go to Casual, because they are the ones that... well, the Hunter is the one that I'm normally good with. As you can see, I have already completed 9 decks. Those 9 decks include 2 mage decks, ones that I made for a laugh, a rogue, a druid, a hunter, a paladin, a warrior, and 2 priests. 1 priest you may see, it says 4 DOL. In future videos you may understand why it is, but currently it isn't so important. Now, Hearthstone is pretty much a card game, as you may see. It's made by Blizzard, same people who do World of Warcraft. And as you can see, I have this very interesting board map. Now, one of the coolest things about Hearthstone is that the maps are interactive. You can turn lights on, you can hit things, you can destroy this and it flies away. And you can destroy leaves, and you can hit a gong and you can annoy the other person because you're not taking your turn as you're too busy playing with the map. However, going back to Hearthstone itself, Hearthstone I think is a really good card game, and as it is still in beta, that is why you see these like frame drops I'm having when cards are drawn or cards are simply placed. I've tried for ages to try and find a way around this, however it hasn't at all worked, so for a laugh I thought I'd just record, as it does seem alright, but not the best. I would maybe count myself as an average player at Hearthstone, but however I do stand by the fact that mages are some of the most powerfulest decks, if built right, that you can get. And I do have 2 mage decks, so I do feel a bit guilty to that. However, ever so slowly I've been using them less and less. But probably 1 down from mage in overpoweredness might actually be the hunter. However, it's not as bad at all compared to, like, there is a big gap. So yeah, that's pretty much it. In terms of cards I have in this game, I actually have probably quite a lot of cards because I've been playing this for a long time and it's been a load of fun, and finally I was able to record it. I'm so glad that I can. But when it comes down to cards, I have quite a lot of cards, and not as many as my friend. My friend has over 20 legendaries. He nearly has the whole set. So you can get a maximum of 28 legendaries if you didn't know. 27 of these legendaries are neutral minions that you are able to get in any deck, and then you get the one hero one. He has over 20, probably nearly 30 of all the legendaries, because obviously there's 9 classes, there's 9 extra legendaries, which makes that 36 legendaries if you can't be bothered to do maths whenever you're watching this video, which makes sense. Maths is kind of annoying sometimes. Anyway, to this actual gameplay, in this situation, I'm not too sure whether I'm winning or losing. Depending on what you're, like, how you are to the game, you may think I may be doing things wrong, and to be honest, I might be doing things wrong. I'm not too sure. This is just the way I play. But the fact is, although he is on 9 less health, that means nothing. the advantage of Hearthstone is that you can actually attack the heroes directly, so anything could happen. However, he has cards with all 2 health or less, so I'm going to play Explosive Trap. At the end of this video, I will show you more of what it's like to build decks and stuff, but currently I wanted to hop straight into the gameplay because it is a very fun game. Right, I'm going to try and win this, otherwise me recording this would just be kind of disappointing if I lose, but I will still upload this because I have been so excited to do this for so long. I'm glad to finally be able to do it. The good things about Hearthstone compared to maybe other card games that come to mind is like Yu-Gi-Oh, is that you can directly attack the hero. And I know I mentioned this a second ago, but the advantage of that is that games are so much shorter. Literally. A game on, an example, Yu-Gi-Oh, because this is something I used to play, could take forever. A game on this, I think longest I've had is about 15 minutes maybe. I'm not sure. I don't really time it, so that's a huge guess. So that's why I'm hoping a video literally just showing you the gameplay and then the cards would be a really good video for you to watch. Now, this would be the interesting bit. If he decides to attack me, he will then lose that card as it's only got 2 health, in which point that was quite a good card. So that's probably not the brightest move they've done, but it's still not bad. Right, I'm going to use Kill Command to destroy that. This looks like it's turning into actually a very good match. Around this point, when they're pretty much below the halfway mark for health, you may be able to notice that you have a slight edge. They haven't even well, they tried to hit me, but they failed because I have a secret. And I will explain what more of these things are at the end of this video. I just, as I said already, wanted to show you the gameplay, just simply so you can see how the things work, and then I can explain afterwards what they do. Right. As you can see, this card is a legendary. This is something I can show you quickly. Every legendary is normally good. There's 1 or 2 exceptions. However, this is one of the most annoyingest legendaries ever. I've been against it myself, and I really, really hated it. Because if you're familiar to the game, you'll understand why this legendary is annoying. Because at the end of your turn, he keeps summoning a 2/2 taunt until he dies. That, when you're like this guy currently, you're on very low, like, board control. It's very hard to destroy it. I wouldn't have summoned Hogger unless he had... No! Oh, that's so annoying. I wouldn't have summoned Hogger if he had probably 2 cards, because he then could just kill him instantly. Ooh! This guy has a legendary himself. That's quite cool. It's rare in this game you see people have legendaries, to be honest. However, as I've got my friend with all of these legendaries, I'm able to sort of know which legendaries they are, and I don't need to keep reading them. I can just play my turn instantly. Because this is sort of turn-based. Well, obviously it's turn-based, I mean it's timer-based. And after so long you can't actually take your turn, like the timer runs out. And that's very helpful to know what the legendaries are. Just to explain why I didn't play these. As you can see at the bottom of my screen, or the bottom of your screen in this case, it says spell at the bottom of the card on both of these, and Cho's ability is to copy a spell whenever it's used. So if they use a spell, that will then get copied to me. If I then use a spell, of course that then gets copied to them. One huge bonus, because currently I have no board control, and in Hearthstone that's a very bad place to be. However, the advantage of being a hunter is your hero power. As every class has a hero power, this is probably one of the best. It bypasses any taunt and just directly does 2 damage to their hero. Doing this, that means I'm able to kill them in 3 turns, and depending how things go, probably less. So this is quite a good move, and I'm going to instantly use my spells now. Now, I am currently in a situation where you never ever want to be in Hearthstone, where you have no cards. This is called top decking because you're pretty much relying on the top card of your deck. The problem with doing this is that you never know what you're going to get. The reason I'm doing it now is simply because I'm just trying to hold a defense and show you an example of what it's like. However, I am pretty certain that I should be alright, as I'm able to kill them in 3 turns using Steady Shot. I'm hoping, and my maths tells me, I should be able to at least survive a couple of these turns, because I've got this Taunt, which they will have to destroy, and only 2 cards can destroy instantly, but they will lose those cards both times. However, if they do that, I might actually die. So this is a very close game, and I'm quite worried. Hold on. 5, 8, 13... Ooh, oh no, I actually think they can kill me this turn. Oh no, this is going to hurt. Ouch. That is one of the best playbacks I've ever seen. Right. Here you can see all the different decks I have. I am very original with names. I pretty much just took their hero name and put awesome in front of it. Don't ask me why. It's just how I fancy to do things. And as you can see down here, I have this Fort DOL. Now, just ignore that for now. That will probably come up in a future video. But it's absolutely hilarious. Anyway, I am now pretty much going to show you the different type of cards you can get. There's a whole different range of cards you can get. You get these basic cards, where you have not these things in the middle. You then get common cards, where there's white in the middle. You then get rare cards, which there's blue. And if I can find it, I know an example. On my mage, I have this epic, which is sort of purple. It's exactly the same as WoW, so if you play WoW, you're kind of used to this already. Something just to show if you get a legendary. Legendaries are a sort of orangey. Again, same as World of Warcraft. As you can hear, there is a lot of cards, and as you may also notice, some of these cards are golden. Now, normally in any card game, you get what are called shinies. In Hearthstone, their equivalent is these gold cards. There is nothing special about them other than simply they're gold and their character gets an animation. So here I've got a golden Acolyte of Pain and a golden Wild Pyromancer. Now, as I have put some money towards this game for the microtransactions into buying cards, that is probably why I've managed to get quite a few golds I do. However, I haven't put as much as my friend who has all the legendaries. This card here is something you guys watching this now should still be able to get, however in the future you're watching this, because it's still open beta. If you pay £2 or whatever the currency is where you're watching this, the cheapest thing, you will get Golden Gelbin Mechatop, because that's you helping towards the beta and actually helping Blizzard continue to develop this game. Now, there are pretty much several ways I can show you the different type of cards, and pretty much the main way that I think is easier if I literally sort of tell you, and you've seen already in the gameplay what it does. There are several different bonuses you get with cards. You get Taunt, Charge, Divine Shield, Wind Fury, Battle Cry, just going through them now to try and remember them. Freeze, that kind of counts. Stealth. You get spell damage buffs, and I think that's about it. I will explain these different things, well, I'll try my best, with some good cards that I recommend. Now, the first card I recommend is a card that one of my friends absolutely hates just because it's so funny, is Gold Shear Footman. Gold Shear Footman is pretty much a basic card you will get, and he has Taunt. Pretty much what Taunt means is that their minions can only attack this card and not directly your hero. They can directly attack your hero, maybe with a hero power or a certain spell that allows them to directly attack their hero. But 9 times out of 10, they will have to attack the card with Taunt. The next thing is Battle Cry. Battle Cry pretty much happens when you summon this minion. So let's say in this situation I had a Gold Shear Footman out and then I wanted to use this card next turn. When I place it, I will have a choice to give the Gold Shear Footman +2 attack this turn. Therefore, on that turn, this minion then would be a 3/2. Something which I'm hoping you already realise. Hearthstone, to get your cards out, costs mana. And here is the attack, here is their health. And you get 1 mana per turn, and you start off with 1. Depending on your class, you can get several buffs that increase your mana, or increase the amount of mana this turn. Next thing to move on for cards is Enrage, which one I forgot. Enrage is pretty much whenever this minion is attacked, his health will go red, and then Enrage will activate. This card is probably a bad example of Enrage, simply because as soon as this minion will be attacked, unless you've managed to buff its health, it will die, so it's kind of pointless. A good example would be one of my gold cards further on. This card has Taunt and Enrage. If this card is hit for 1 or 2 health, its health would then be 1 or 2 and it would be red. That means this card is enraged, so it will get +3 attack. If this card ever dies, then it will obviously die and go off the field, or if it goes back up to 3 health, it will no longer have Enrage. That's something that's kind of crucial, I was never sure on, but it's something that is kind of handy nonetheless. Next thing to look at will be Death Rattle. Death Rattle is pretty much when it dies, it does this. So this Leper Gnome, when it dies, it will do 2 damage straight to the enemy hero. An example in the video just now of Death Rattle being used was right at the beginning, where they had a Horde Looter, I think it's called, and it died and it gave them a card. The next type, it was this card, Loot Hoarder. I got the wrong way around. Next thing would be Charge. Charge means the minions no longer have to wait a turn and they can just attack straight away on that turn. I do not think I used an example of Charge because I didn't have any Charge cards at the time in my Hunter deck. Right. The next thing to move on to would be Silence, as I saw it. Silence, as you saw in that video, will remove any buff, taunt, battle cry, all these different things that I'm explaining now. It will remove them from one card. This is very beneficial in a situation like I just had. It silenced Hogger, so Hogger therefore never gave me a 2/2 taunt, which was something that's kind of annoying. Some cards will increase spell damage. So if you're a mage, you have Fireball, which is a 4 mana cost, and it deals 6 damage. This is a basic card, you will get it. With this card out on the field, it will therefore still cost 4 mana, cost the same, but do 7 damage. If you can keep that card survive and then use it with a spell damage card, that would be very good to you. Next thing I can mention is just general things. Just moving back here. These are just general things that happen like every turn. Like this one, whenever this minion takes damage, it will draw a card. This minion, not golden though, was actually used in a video. You can go back and check that. When it took 2 different damages, the opponent therefore drew a card. The final thing near final, sorry. One thing that was also used in video was this card, a Jungle Panther. It had Stealth. Stealth pretty much means I cannot attack it directly. I can hit it if I have any AoEs, Area of Effect spells, like I did in the video. I had an Explosive Trap, which was a secret, which I'll get onto a second, and it destroyed 2 damage. Whoopsie, just hit my mic. I had an Explosive Trap, which was secret, and it destroyed, it dealt 2 damage to every card. Right. Next one would be this. This card is enraged, is Wind Fury. So if this takes 1 or 2 damage, it will be enraged, and it will give it Wind Fury. Wind Fury simply means you can attack twice with that card. Just not to get confused, if this card attacks, gets enraged, and doesn't die 1 card, if it then gets enraged, gets Wind Fury, that same turn it can attack. This is something I almost didn't realise, and it probably would have lost me the game if I didn't realise, which was actually quite funny. One more final thing. I keep forgetting that there's so many of these. Divine Shield. Divine Shield is pretty much what Divine Shield is in World of Warcraft if you play it. It puts a shield around the card, meaning whenever it takes, whenever it's hit, nothing happens. It doesn't take any damage. However, it still does deal damage. That is a very good thing to use. Now, just popping through, checking I've covered everything. I believe I have. If there's something I missed, you can just put down in the comments. I'll be able to reply probably quite quickly. But just going to pop onto secrets. The best example is a mage, because mage have the most amount of secrets you can get. That's all of these here. Secrets, not that card. Secret, 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 secret. I think there's a total of 6 secrets. There's Vaporize, Spellbender, Mirror Entity, Ice Barrier, Ice Block, and Counterspell for a mage. I've only got 4 of them. But pretty much a secret, as you saw towards the beginning of that game where I played an explosive trap, it comes up as a question mark above your hero. The opponent doesn't know what it is, so they have to play it right so they don't get badly affected by this secret. In that video, they was quite badly affected, and it probably would have lost them the game if they didn't have that card towards the end with +3 attack, which was actually kind of unfair for me because I just lost. I had full health. But as I explained in the beginning of the video, that's how rapidly this game can change. That one move, I lost the entire game. One final thing to add is crafting mode. Crafting mode allows you to disenchant cards down here, or then create another copy of that card, as well as it reveals the cards that you can enchant, as well as cards that you could future want to enchant and create. This card is one of these secrets. I'm not going to create it because I'm going to try and get a pack, which I'll explain in a second how they work. But you can create it. If you had it, you'll be able to disenchant it. But that is another way of getting cards. As you can see, it's highlighted slightly lighter than other cards. If I go straight to the end, or as you just see there, while it's incredibly being a little bit laggy. Yeah, here's an example. Blood Mage Thalnos is a legendary, and they cost 1,600 to create. That is quite a lot, and it's a hard way, I think, to get legendaries. However, it is quite good if you have the Arcane Dust for it. Final thing to show you is packs. You can buy packs from the shop for 100 gold. Gold can be got from quests, which I will show you now. Quests, which you are given, and depending on how far through or how many, as I've got quite a lot of total wins, I have this quest here, which is Hunter or Mage Dominance, which instead of the 2 games, like I have here, it will be 5 games, and you get more gold from it, as well as for winning 3 games, not in a row, just simply for winning 3 games, you will also get 10 gold. So that is pretty much Hearthstone. The only other thing I need to mention would be the arena. The arena, you pretty much are given a random hero. You choose out of 3, and you choose 30 cards out of 3 each time to build a deck and go against other people. It's a lot more random. It's not your own deck, so it's a bit more fair play. Anyway, I will leave you with the outro to start playing now. Meanwhile, I will show you some of the magical things I've been able to do in Hearthstone by some screenshots that I've managed to take, which is absolutely hilarious. Goodbye.